Following the launch of the ICE-1, Germany's original and very successful high-speed train, came the often overlooked ICE-2. Despite appearing to just be a shorter version of the original ICE train, these trains are actually quite different technically. They feature a completely redesigned cab car and structural changes that cause significant issues under certain conditions in their early years of service. So join me on a trip from Hannover to Cologne in first class as we explore the history of these trains and their not so exciting future. This is Hannover Hauptbhanhof, Germany's 13th largest city and one of the most important railway stations in the country. Originally opened in 1843, the station today serves 250,000 people every day across its 12 platforms. Unfortunately, the main station hall seems a bit underwhelming compared to some other main stations here in Germany. But of course, you will find the essentials such as the Travel Information Center and a McDonald's. And of course, there's also plenty of other food outlets, such as this bakery next to the toilet. And on the lower levels, you'll find even more shops and restaurants, and a connection to the Hannover Stadtbahn. But let's turn our attention to the mainline trains, where we'll be heading to platform 12 to catch the 1531 service to Cologne main station and also Cologne main station again, but more on that a bit later. As we head up to the platform, our train hasn't quite arrived yet, so we can take a look at some of the other trains serving this station. Such as this IC1, probably the most hated long-distance train in Germany. And there's also plenty of regional and S-Bahn trains serving the station, connecting Hanover with its surrounding towns. But we will of course be catching an ICE service bound for Cologne twice. This is one of the main differences and advantages of the ICE-2 over the original. It features automatic couplers that allows for two train sets to be combined and split en route, which is the case for our service today in Hamm. Another difference we can see here as the train is pulling in is unlike in the ICE-1, there's only one power car in each train set. As you can see, this carriage is just a control car with no engine or pantograph. The ICE-2 was built from 1995 to 1997 by Adtranz and Siemens and can operate at speeds of up to 280 km per hour. And as our train is already running a bit late, let's quickly get on board before we miss it. I'm traveling on an Interrail pass today and have opted to make an optional seat reservation. I went for this pair of airline-style seats. All settled in my seat, we depart Hannover Hauptbahnhof at 15:35, running 4 minutes behind schedule. Being a busy junction station, there's plenty of train traffic as we navigate our way out of the station. We even catch a glimpse of the special liveried ICE-4 for the European Football Championship, which Germany hosted earlier in 2024. This is one of the newer ICE-4 trains in the shorter variant, which is also capable of running together in multiple units, similar to our ICE-2. And unfortunately, with a not approved special livery. And with us now speeding out of the city, I think it's about time we take a look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board ICE train 858, which runs together with ICE 848 from Berlin and Wolfsburg to Hanover, where we join the train. From here we continue making a stop in Bielefeld before Hamm. Here the train will split, with the front portion of the train heading for Dortmund, Bochum, Essen, Duisburg, Düsseldorf and Cologne as ICE 848. With our train ICE 858 heading direct for Cologne via Hagen and Wuppertal before Cologne main station. The trip from Hanover to Cologne is scheduled to take 2 hours 39 minutes to cover 296 kilometers, giving the train an average speed of 112 kilometers per hour. Our journey out of Hanover is only very brief as we come to a stop.
Grund ist, wir haben eine kurzfristige Streckensperrung vor uns. Unsere Weiterfahrt verzögert sich um 15 Minuten. Ich bitte noch um etwas Geduld, sobald ich weitere Informationen erhalte, werde ich auf jeden Fall an Ihnen weitergeben. Vielen Dank.
As there is some sort of failure on the line ahead, let's take a look at the seat while we wait. At the airline style seat, you'll find a large tray table, which is very sturdy. There's also a seat pocket, as well as a bin. Turning under the seat is where you'll find a power outlet for every seat. There's also some cup holders. The seat strikes a good balance between padding and support from the ergonomic design, combined with the soft headrest pillow, makes an excellent seat. And after about a 20-minute wait, we get the green light to proceed towards Bielefeld. And despite what many Germans have told me about Bielefeld, I was surprised to see that it actually does exist. Because of the delay, our stop is brief and we are quickly on the move again. Unfortunately, there's no dedicated high-speed track between Hannover and Cologne, but we can get up to about 200 km per hour in certain sections. So as we speed south towards Cologne, let's go and check out the rest of the train, starting with the seats in second class. They are very similar, albeit with a fabric instead of leather design, as well as a bit narrower thanks to the 2+2 layout. But again, they are very comfortable, come with power outlets, as well as recline, seat pockets and tray tables. Throughout the train you will find plenty of luggage racks, and you can also store your luggage above the seat. There's also a family area in second class, both with compartments as well as open plan seating. Obviously second class is a bit more cramped than first class, but I'd still say this is a perfectly comfortable way to make this journey. Here we have the dedicated spots for wheelchair users, but unfortunately these trains are high floor, meaning you'll have to book assistance in order to get a ramp deployed and get on board the train. Now we'll continue to the onboard bistro. Here you'll find various meals, snacks and drinks on sale, and further down there's a dedicated dining area where you can enjoy your meal or drink. Behind the dining car is where you'll find first class. This comes in the expected 1+2 layout, with mostly airline style seating, but a few tables as well. It's definitely a nice upgrade over standard, with bigger seats and more space, especially if you can get it for a good price, which DB often has for first class on less busy trains. But of course we'll have to go check if the toilets are also first class. One thing I like about them on the ICE1 and ICE2 is that they feel quite spacious. And even after almost 30 years of service, they're still fully functional. I'm not sure we needed to paint a flower on the sticker covering the window, but overall the toilet is clean and functional, so thumbs up to Deutsche Bahn. Back at my seat, it's time to test out the free onboard Wi-Fi. Unfortunately it wasn't very good, so if you're planning to get some work done, make sure you can do it offline, I guess. But we don't need Wi-Fi for entertainment, as we are now coming up on Hamm Hauptbhanhof. So we can instead go and watch this train's party trick. The uncoupling of the front unit heading to Cologne the slow way. It's actually very uneventful, as the front part of the train just simply glides away. And now our engine-less, unpowered control car is ready to lead us to Cologne the fast way. This is actually the unique thing about the ICE2, as the previous generation, ICE1, has a power car at both ends of the train. And with our train still being late, let's quickly get back on board before it leaves without us. And as we get moving again, it's time to talk about one of the other major differences between these trains and the original ICE1. Despite the ICE2 train appearing largely identical to the ICE1, the middle carriages are approximately 5 tons lighter, combined with the reduced weight in the control car while leading, proved that the train could become unstable, particularly in crosswind on certain railway lines, often on viaducts on new high-speed lines. For several years this issue led to various speed restrictions, often reducing speeds to around 200 km per hour in affected areas. The exact restrictions varied depending on how the trains were coupled and whether the engine or the cab car was leading. However, over the years, these areas with speed restrictions has been greatly reduced thanks to infrastructure improvements and installation of wind detection systems on the train. And here, as we leave Hagen Hauptbhanhof, we also need to talk about a different system. Deutsche Bahn has decided not to upgrade these trains with ETCS signaling, which means DB is actually planning to retire them already in 2027, a few years before the ICE ones actually. So it's about time to start planning your last rides on them. We are now approaching our penultimate stop, Wuppertal, which is home to the iconic hanging monorail known as the Schwebebahn. Unfortunately, we got no time to check it out, as our delay has only increased, as this is one of the most congested parts of Germany's railway network. And with the last bit of daylight almost over, we are almost in Cologne. So let's talk about tickets. I was traveling on an Interrail pass, which fully covers the fare for this trip. However, if you were to book a regular ticket for this train, fares start from 18 euros in second class and 24 in first, if booked in advance. Prices are dynamic and vary based on demand and time of purchase, so book ahead for the best deal. So here, as we make our approach into Cologne main station, Köln Hauptbhanhof, I have to ask you, what do you think of the ICE2? Let me know in the comments below. I personally think they are quite often overshadowed by the ICE1, which is a shame because the ICE2 is a solid train with an interesting history, and despite their issues, they remain a comfortable way to travel across the country in 2024. And with a delay of just under half an hour, here we are at Cologne main station. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.